Can you hear those sirens? That's something we haven't heard in a long time since coming from California.
So I see this, all these rose arbors and garden beds behind you. Tell me about that.
So we garden 2 seasons in California. And our first year gardening, we learned a lot. Second year, we learned even more.
Harvest.
And so when we moved out here to South Carolina, I decided to, based on our experience, build us a raised bed garden. And so first I wanted a perimeter garden where there's garden beds along the fence around the perimeter of the yard. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted something like a courtyard garden. I forget what they call it, but it's a 4 garden bed structure right here in the center. And so I built that. Me and the wife, we was out here and loading up the dirt and everything. And, you know, we kind of rushed and put our plants and stuff in that we bought from Home Depot and all that. The whole motivation was to having a center garden was sort of coming from the book of Genesis.
Okay.
Where God made man and placed him in the garden, mm-hmm. right? And when God began to cause things to grow, he had everything there that was beautiful to the eye and good for food,
okay.
right? And so most people like us, when we did our first garden, it was all food, but nothing pleasant to the eye. But yeah, so we planted what's called Don Juan roses on the back arbor. And
the Don Juans are which color?
The Don Juans are the red ones.
Okay.
So Don Juan's on the outside, and on the center, in the center walkway, straddling the walkway, we have white roses, white climbing roses, and they're called Cloud 10s. Mm-hmm. Okay. They both of those are climbing roses, have a nice fragrance to them. Smell really, really good.
Like, what do they smell like?
I think the Don Juan smell like fruit punch.
Okay, and then the Cloud 10s?
Cloud 10s, they smell like, I would say like like a fruity soap.
So like if fruit, soap, and roses had a baby, that's what the Cloud 10s would smell like.
Yeah, the inspiration behind the rose arbors was giving the garden something pleasant to look at, just add some beauty to it. So
we know that you don't want to spray all kind of chemicals on your foods and your plants, and there are natural ways to repel them. But what have you learned as regard to, here you have this crop that you're growing that's beautiful, good to the eye, delicious to eat, but then you have these predators, if you will, that are trying to attack it at the same time. And I know when I was in the garden, I always get that vibe of, here you are minding your business, doing what's right, and then here comes the enemy trying to disturb and attack and kill the fruit, or the vegetable in that case, or the herb.
Yeah, that's a good correlation, because the things that you plant have to be protected. Mm-hmm. The things that you want to see fruit from have to be guarded.
And how would you relate that into real life?
Yeah, well, that's what I was doing. Just take, for instance, you plant we have a blackberry bush here. And when the fruit comes on, when the berries come on, the birds know it. And there's a mockingbird that really loves blackberries. Now, this year was an observation year for us, so we didn't really protect them. But we observed that if you do not protect them, the birds will eat them up because they like them. If you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor, you have to be attentive to it. And a perfect example is business, where you start a business, you can't just neglect all the things that go with it, right? Or it will be devoured. So you can't just make a product and just throw it out there and see how it does and just walk away from it.
Right.
You know? And so a lot of things in the garden have to be paid attention to with a lot of detail, and you could correlate that to real life. You can't just start a fire and walk away from it, basically.
Because there's a lot of people where they don't understand that you can't just plant your seed, let the sky water it, and let the sun do its thing, and you just have nothing else to do after that.
You know, those are observations that I make out here while I'm in the garden, because I can see if a plant's not performing well, what is going on. I examine the leaves. I look at the base of the plant, and I know that I might notice some critters on the plant, and I can say, you know what I should have done? I should have put some pest control, some organic pest control on this. Or the soil is a little dry, so I got to up the watering frequency. Or, you know, maybe I need to put some nutrients in this soil to cause this plant to do better, or to make the plant strong enough to withstand some of the pressures that's against it. So it's this kind of attitude and training that you need to carry into everyday life. And I think the way society is, it has us distant from the very things that can train you to do that, right? So yeah, society, the way this system is set up, you're disconnected from nature.
Yeah.
And nature can teach you a lot about life,
right?
Because in order to eat, you have to be attentive to these plants, right? And we don't have animals, but that's the same thing with animals too.
Right.
You know, you have to be attentive to the things that you're trying to achieve. And so, without that training, and with the training that the world gives you, you know, you're basically trained to work under somebody else's business and not care about the ins and outs. You know, you're just there to do what you're told and walk away with a check. So you don't have to really be attentive to everything that.
Or as invested, you're saying?
You have to be invested into making this thing grow and achieving fruit. Somebody else is doing that for you. So when you're in business for yourself, having a garden will help you adjust your attitude and adjust your behaviors.
You know, there are some people where they have no desire to own their own business. Would a garden still be able to teach them things? Or is it, you know, a good thing just for like entrepreneurs to do?
No. The garden will teach you a lot about life, you know, about yourself, about relationships, you know.
What would it teach me about relationships?
Well, the same thing, about being attentive, right? If something's not working right, if the plants are showing signs of weakness or sickness, right? You can relate that to your relationship. Right. If your relationship is getting weak or something, maybe it's not being fed.
Right.
Maybe it's not being protected from the little things that are attacking it. Right. You see, all of those life applications, everything that you do in the garden can be applied to life.
But how do I know what's wrong? Like if I've never done this before, like say this is my first relationship, my first garden, how do I know if it's a pest or not enough nutrients, or there's something eating it at night and I don't know what it is? How do I figure that out?
Well, there's two things. There's inherent wisdom that's God built inside of you, and then there's God's wisdom that He gives to you.
Okay.
Now, everyone has inherent wisdom. They have a form of strategy, a form of curiosity, investigation, and trying to make things better. So, example is, what's wrong with this plant, right? Why is it looking like this? Right? And something may come to you that says, maybe it needs water. It's so dry, maybe it needs water. Or you can say, just from observing it, you can say, it looks like some pest was here eating on this part of it. Or it looks like some mold or some mildew or something, right? These are little intelligent observations that you can make. And the same thing in your relationship. You can say, you don't know what's wrong with it, but observing it will give you more clues and hints and things for you to apply some natural wisdom to.
Right.
Like, it seems like something's not getting fed or something's not getting protected, right? Or it needs a little bit of this, you know. And so that's the application of man's wisdom or natural wisdom to it. So yeah, the garden can be for everyday people, everyday life.
But what about, how do I get the God wisdom then? Like, do I need to go to my pastor?
No. So God's wisdom, it comes from above. What that basically means is when God made man fell. God sent Jesus to redeem man back to him. Okay? And so if man believes that to the point it becomes his confession, like he says that himself, right? Then now he's reconnected to God, reconnected to the Father. That's what I believe. Okay. And so once you're reconnected to the Father, you got access to his wisdom. He now communes with you, which basically means he walks and talks with you, right?
Okay.
He comes and lives inside of you, right? Right. I can't explain the mechanics of how God lives inside of you, right? Does he have a mattress, a little kitchen nook that he drinks his coffee? I don't know, right? But I know he's there, all right? And so you can draw on his presence and get his wisdom, you know? And so in scenarios that you can't figure out, you can lean on that and make a request. Say, hey, you know, Father, I can't understand this.
Right.
So I need your wisdom.
Right.
And in due time, it'll come. Some people get discouraged because they didn't hear the heavens break over and you got an answer. But in due time, you'll get that answer, you know?
But how do I know it's God talking to me? Like, you said in due time. What if it doesn't come for like 2 years or something?
Well, first of all, in order to know his voice, you got to learn about him. So when you first get reconnected, you got to learn everything there is to know about God from all the available sources. Number one is the Bible. Right. So once you...
Well, when you say learn about God and read the Bible, that book is like 60-something chapters. Like, how do I know where to even begin?
You take your time. So the first thing is it's not a rush. You're connected. God is with you. Okay. So now you want to learn about him. You want to spend as much time as you can getting all the information about him that you can. So if I have no idea where to start, where would you tell me to start in the Bible to start to learn about him? All right. And why? So first of all, I would read the Gospel of John. Okay. Right. The Gospel of John, one of the easiest of the Gospels to digest. Okay. Right? And then I would read the 3 letters that John wrote.
And what are those? Yeah, but so where are they in the Bible?
They're in the Bible. They're towards the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 1 John, 2 John, 3 John. Okay. And these books tell you how to love your brother, love one another. Okay. This is the principles, the foundation. Okay. Then from there, you can, once you get those down, now you can start adding books to your reading regimen. Because you want to read, when you first get into this, you want to read constantly, be consuming those scriptures constantly. Okay. Right? It's a thing called renewing your mind, because before you got reconnected to the Father, you learned how to do things from this environment. There was no one to instruct you except people, mankind, or stuff that you observe. Basically, I see this, and so I'm gonna do that. Or he said this, and I'm gonna do that. Or they told me this, so I'm gonna do that. But now that you're reconnected to the Father, you can get instructions from him and live accordingly, right? Okay. So a lot of his principles and instructions are written in scripture, right? And so starting with those books, I told you, it put you right on the right path. And then now you go back and you want to learn, the best way to learn who God is, his attributes, his personality, his character, the things that make him happy, things that make him upset, the things that grieve him. Go back to the Old Testament and you'll see him speaking with Abraham, Moses, you'll see his anger get aroused by things that the Israelites do. You'll see him be pleased by certain things that people do.
And where do I start?
I was starting Genesis 1.
Oh, just starting. Yeah. Is that the first book?
Yeah, the first book of the Bible.
All right, so just start with Genesis and let that kind of take me.
Yeah, in Genesis, you'll start to get understanding of who God is, right?
I've never heard it like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, you need a foundation for all that stuff to lay on. So that's why I say start with the Gospels, and that way you'll have a bucket or a plate to put what you read in Genesis on. Okay. So start with the Gospel of John and the three books that John wrote to the church. 1 John, 2 John, 3 John.
Okay. And is that what happened to you when you started?
Yeah.
Like, how did you know to go to John? Someone told you?
Well, I learned it, yeah. So, well, let me see, did I? No, I think I was just curious, super curious. And I didn't start there. So when I first got saved, or I first got reconnected to the Father, I started in Matthew.
Okay.
And I read straight through to the Revelation.
Okay.
And that's how I know that it's better to start in John.
Okay.
And then I heard someone teaching other people where to start, right? And they mentioned start in John, and then start in the 3 letters that John wrote. And so I adopted that for myself when I tell people what to do, you know.
Okay.
That's and so yeah. So I in a sense I got it from myself and that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great. I really appreciate hearing your revelation on the garden and how to apply it to my life, relationships, business. It's I mean, it sounds like the garden is something that is very revelational in a way.
There's hidden wisdom because the artist that made the plants, that made all this stuff that grows, the artist is God. And so you learn a little bit about him by seeing his different ways, like what made you do this, what made you do that. So you just, it's like you're following his footprints. Right. Saying, wow, you made this muscadine vine, this muscadine grape, right? And it performs, it buds at certain times of the year, and you know, it's just so much to come out here and
artistry.
Observe. Yeah, a lot of artistry. Each plant has its own personality, its likes and dislikes, right? And it's just amazing to watch. It's amazing to watch them in the rain. It's amazing to watch them when the sun comes up after the rain. You know, we had these petunias over here. When it rains, they look so sad. Yeah, it's just like they're crying, you know, and then you see the water dripping off of like
tears,
petunia tears.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can even hear them like. But then when it, excuse me, but then after the sun comes up, after the rain, they rise up so tall and like they're dancing and dancing. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting that scripture mentions that all of creation will cry out, you know, and there's a personality attached to them. So,
all right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Mike. We look forward to talking to you again.
Anytime.
All righty.
Hope this made sense.
It did. It was great.
Okay.